This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Delta Green role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Impermanence. It was written by Meltzer, who is also our game handler, and this is episode 1. Our recap. Before we begin, I want to mention that we get most of our funding through our Patreon site. Your generous support helps us to pay for our websites, our club space, and everything that goes into our video production. It's your support that keeps us going, and we deeply appreciate it. Also, we have a new patron. John Fairchild has pledged $5 a month to our club. Thank you so much, John. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Max?
All right. I'm going to begin with a quote because I'm so pretentious. The echoes of the bells of the Gion Temple ring the impermanence of all things, and the color of the salaflower changing reveals the truth that the prosperous must decline. The proud do not endure. They're instead like a dream on a spring night. The mighty will fall at last as they are dust before the wind. And that's from the Tale of Heike. We will begin, before we get into the actual scenario, with the agents getting paged on their various devices with a message. So, Agent Quicksilver, why don't you introduce your character and tell me what you're doing when you receive this message?
I'm Agent Quicksilver. I am a medical physician, and I am also a surgeon. I am probably driving home after a long day at the office, eager to have dinner and get into bed. And I get the message probably on my phone.
Perfect. What about you, Agent Quixote?
On the opposite side, Agent Quixote is getting up for his late shift. He works nights, building security, just patrolling around. And he's basically getting ready, putting on his security outfit when he gets the text. And he realizes he's going to have to call in to work and say, like, I'm too sick today. Gotta go.
And is Agent Quixote just like a security guard? He's just a schlub?
Yeah, he used to be a soldier, but he saw some things, and Delta Green went, "You're out, but we're gonna keep you in New York on the line if we need you."
Perfect. All right, Agent Quail.
Yeah, I have a part-time medical practice, so I imagine I probably got like a message or a page of some sort, in which case I would immediately call my wife, Eliana, and just let her know that, Eliana, I'm off on a consulting job. She would understand not to ask.
Yeah, at this point she gets that you sometimes go off on your own. All right, what about you, Agent Quince?
What time of day is it?
Depends on where you live in the country or out of the country.
There's an unofficial ATF headquarters in Camden, New Jersey. So
Is New Jersey on the East Coast?
New Jersey is next door to New York City.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so then it is night. Twilight.
Right. So I'm probably on my way to my lonely divorcee house maybe with some frozen meals in the back seat.
Your bachelor pad where the refrigerator opens with string. All right.
Yeah.
And finally, Agent Quilt. Let's say you're
Uh,
undercover in the middle of an important undercover meeting with one of your contacts, and you just get a buzz on your phone that has the codes phrase.
yeah. Well, I've been working here for a little while. I'm in some greasy overalls at a chop shop, but I had my suspicions that these were small fries and that this was just for a moment, anyways. So I'll just ask to be excused. I don't need to be there.
Perfect. Perfect. And they'll let you go, but they're eyeing you suspiciously.
Yep, I'll probably never see him again.
Perfect. All right. So you all get texts on your phones or pages that say NYC and then an address, 321 36th Street. And then just behind that it says roof. And I assume you guys all get accommodations to go. Um, if you are driving, you can take whatever you want. If you're flying, maybe you'll have some more difficulties. But you all end up at this building. And who's showing up first?
I suspect I'm closest coming from New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So yeah,
Um,
so I've got my kit in the vehicle, but when I drive down 36th Street, is there anything evidently going on? Is there a sign of police action or other emergency vehicles?
no, it's still nighttime, twilight, because I remember now New Jersey was in uh, the Ten Candles thing we played. It's right across the street, right? Right across the ocean, correct?
River, yeah.
Yes, river.
Well, it's an estuary.
Holland Tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, my dog is barking. But yes, so you arrive and it's still the sun has just set. And this road appears to have several high-rise buildings on it. 321 36th Street is like a brick building. It looks like it's maybe like 6 stories or 5 stories, so a pretty big building that has buildings adjacent to it, just separated by only a few feet, like it is in New York, by an alley maybe. And it looks like a pretty trashy building. It's not the nicest area of town.
Okay. Sounds like the far west side then.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely far west side.
all right. Is there does the building have any signage on it? Does it say what it is?
Um,
Or is it a residential building instead of a commercial building?
yeah, it looks to be residential, and there's a lot
Okay.
of for lease signs out front advertising that there's vacancies there.
Okay.
The economy has not been so good in the past 5 years.
Mm. Fair enough. So rundown apartment building, uh, probably if it's 5 stories, probably 30 units in Manhattan. So I'll get out and have a look at there should be inside the glass front
Yes.
door apartment listings. And
Yeah,
I'll
it
see if
looks
there's
like. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll see if there's a roof apartment or a penthouse apartment listed because I don't know what else roof means.
There's no roof apartment listed. It looks like there's like maybe 5 occupants in this building, even though
Mm,
there's like 30 units, like you said. So it looks like this is almost empty, which is pretty common in New York nowadays.
mm, okay. Um, is there I'm interested in seeing what's on the roof without meeting the residents. Is there a building within a block or two that might have, I mean, there are rooftop bars in Manhattan, for example, and hotels often have a deck or something that you can look out from. I'd
Yeah.
like to see if there's a building nearby that has a public access point that I could look onto the roof of 321.
Yeah, why don't you roll luck? Which is just a 50-50.
65.
Yeah, all right. So there are buildings that have like rooftop outlooks, but
Mm-hmm.
you might need to
Talk my
smooth
way into
talk the
them.
receptionist. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Uh, uh, is there, well, sure. I'm can be persuasive. I'll pick the building that looks the most like it wants to be respectable, but isn't maybe that respectable.
Perfect. Yeah.
And is it a hotel? Is it a bar? What sort of?
Let's say it's like one of those like new luxury living things that's just like kind of just as shitty as a poor people apartment, but nicer on the
Absolutely,
outside.
absolutely, great. So I can say that I am an interested renter, and I want to see a unit. The higher, the better.
Yeah, okay. And the woman will say, "Oh yeah, of course. It's a little bit late, but we really like they look like they need the business. So they will take you up to if you roll humans actually for me.
Oh, 17, so under 70. So
Yeah, okay, perfect. So yeah, they'll take you up to their roof, which is higher than the roof of 321.
great. And I'll, ask about some details, make small talk, and then see if I can. I don't really want to drag someone from the building over to look down on 321. I'll say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm really interested in the views. Let me have a look around."
Yeah, in the middle of talking, the woman gets like a buzz on her phone, and she's
Great,
like, "Oh, I'll be right back. One second," and
great.
leaves.
Okay, so over Eileen.
Yeah, so you look out onto the roof of 321. It's night, and the you kind of can see the blue glow of the city start to spark up, with hints of red in New York. New York is a lot less blue of a city than LA is, in my experience. And maybe not. But you can see on the roof, it appears that there is like a little access stair port, and then there's some sort of like pigeon battery on the roof, like a pigeon coop on the roof.
Very old-timey.
Yeah.
Um, no signs of human activity at the moment.
Do a notice or alertness, or if you have binoculars or something, it'll help.
Don't know that I carry some. Oh, I can put my phone camera on night mode and expand, which will help a little bit.
Okay. Then roll with a plus 20.
Ah, 82 is not going to fly on an alertness of 40, even with a bonus.
All right, so you can't see any signs of activity on the roof. Who else is showing up around this time? Is anybody else? Who are the next people showing up?
Yeah, I'm. I get a room at the Knickerbark. I can't see.
Knickerbocker.
A
I
decent
pro-
room there. It's a nice hotel.
All
And then
right.
I'll catch a cab over to this address, and perhaps foolishly, I'll just walk in.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys?
I probably have the furthest to go, to get there, but I wouldn't even bother with accommodations. I would just go straight there.
Okay. Um, so let's say like all of you all gather outside except for Agent Quince, and Agent Quicksilver, who goes in first. So, Agent Quicksilver, you go in first, and the door opens. It's not like a buzz-in thing. So, are you just going to go straight to the roof?
I assume that's what it said to do. So,
Yeah.
is there I hope there's an elevator, not just stairs.
Yeah, there's a spiral staircase, and inside it is like a really old cage elevator that goes through the center of the staircase.
Well, I'll take this. I'll take the elevator up.
Yeah, it is pretty far. So
How
yeah,
how how many floors?
it's a floors.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you take this cage elevator and you see it rattling as it sort of creaks up
Old building.
the staircase, yeah. And you end up on the roof. And you step out and you see a pigeon coop that appears to have the door open to it, and inside is a guy standing there. And he says, "Oh, greetings."
In the coop,
Yes, in the coop, inside the coop.
I'll walk over towards him.
Yeah, he's surrounded by white feathers just blowing everywhere.
Well, good evening.
Yeah, it looks like you're the first to show up. This is a real rough case. We'll wait for the other agents to show up.
Huh. Well, they say the mind is everything. What you think, you become.
Very perceptive, Agent Quicksilver. You'll go far with that attitude. And let's say the rest of you guys eventually make it up. Oh,
Oh,
I
you're
take the
gentlemen,
stairs.
gentlemen.
Yeah, yeah, because Agent Quixote is actually pretty buff, and he doesn't trust that death trap. So he'll show
okay.
up with a big duffel bag, like a gym bag of uh, clothes.
Yard trimmings. Yeah, your
Yeah,
calves are cramping at this point.
yeah, yeah.
And since we're all in Q cell, we all know each other, right?
If you want to, yeah.
Sure.
Well, ah, I see you're fine and healthy still. Good.
Yeah, yeah. Great to be on another operation with you. And like he's a younger guy. Maybe he's kind of newer to the whole group. Of yeah, yeah.
How are those
Gotta.
steroids working out for you?
I'm not on steroids. I'm just built different.
Okay.
So we are all here for the same reason, yeah?
We all got messages from you know who.
Yeah.
Right. Frankly, I'm
Yeah.
getting a little tired of flying here and flying there and just going up to people's roofs. It's not very, I don't know. It's so clandestine. I think it's all left over from the old days.
That may be so. I'm Agent Centipede. It's a pleasure to meet you. And Agent Centipede appears to be a middle-aged Asian man with a mustache and a slight beard. He's in an sort of ill-fitting, rumpled suit. He looks like he's had some rough nights, and he's eating a bag of Panda Express fried rice with shrimp, and as any good handler does. And he opens his briefcase and says, "Gentlemen, this is a bit of an odd one. We got ourselves a rogue agent,
Oh,
Agent Silence. He looks like he's gone off the deep end, killed his entire cell. Let me give you his case file."
Agent Silence was one of Delta Green's top agents. He was a former Army Ranger deployed in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, where he distinguished himself as a reliable operator. He was recruited by Delta Green and retired from Special Forces as a result. He's been on over 10 successful operas since then. On his last opera, while investigating drug shipments, Agent Silence was compromised. He eliminated his cell members and is now on the run in New York. He is to be considered armed and extremely dangerous. Approaching or talking him risks agents being compromised or killed.
Josiah Vermillion is his real name.
Yes.
What happened to him?
Well, that's the problem. We don't really know. All we know is he was investigating some sort of mysterious drug shipments in the New York area, and we believe that he got infected with Oh yeah, sorry about the date of birth. A classified entity that deteriorated his brain functions to a certain extent. And we know this because the last agent report we got, his doctor said that his brain functions, his MRI was not normal, or his EKG, the EKG, the one that you can just do, was not normal. So because of this, and because of other classified information that's above your pay grade, we have decided that we are going to use our prototype reconstructive brain drug. And he pulls out a dart from his briefcase. Actually, he pulls out like 3 darts from his briefcase that have this jet black, almost like completely non-reflective substance in it. And he says, your job as agents is to approach Agent Silence from a distance, hit him with one of these, and observe him. If he appears to be compromised further after you hit him with one of these, you are to dispose of him. If not, just make daily reports to me as to his condition.
So this substance that you're injecting him with should hopefully restore his brain function?
That's
Is that
the
what you're
hope.
hoping for?
That's the hope.
What is it?
The truth is, I don't know. This is straight from A-Cell. This is from the higher ups.
Wait, does it fix a brain or just make it better?
It should heal his brain completely.
All right, but what if someone with a regular-ish brain takes it?
I mean, you can feel free to test it on someone.
Well, it depends
Can we
depends on what
analyze
it's
it?
doing. I don't think Delta Green wants us to analyze the stuff they want us to use. So
Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to
You can-
ask.
If anybody, I'll have Agent Quince roll psychotherapy if he wants to.
Thing. Oh, 09 under 70.
Oh my lord. So you notice with your psychotherapeutic eye, dilation of the pupil, increased perspiration rate, and increased muscle movement, twitching, or movement in Agent Centipede. He appears to be very uncomfortable with this line of questioning.
When he opened his briefcase to get these darts out, how were they arranged? And is there a dart gun in there? And are there socks in there or a half-eaten sandwich? How's Agent Centipede doing other than currently uncomfortable about this and eating Panda Express in Manhattan?
Yeah, his briefcase looks beaten up. The darts were well arranged, and all the documents were well arranged, but there's definitely some, like, in the top pocket, some crumpled paper that looks like it's been in there for like 3 years and has now compacted into like sedimentary rock. There's some recent scratches all over his briefcase. It looks a little beat up.
Fair enough.
And his overall appearance is not good.
yeah, somebody
Yeah.
gave it to him and it's passing it on to us. Somebody at DG.
Do we have any lead on where this guy is?
Well, we do have his real name and address. His
Vermillion.
address, yeah, His name is Josiah Vermillion. His address is 430 26th Street, and he lives in apartment 5.
And has he
Can we
been
ha-
there recently, or
I am not
you
aware.
haven't? This is the very beginning of the investigation and
Yeah,
manhunt. Okay.
and now even you can see he's looking even more uncomfortable when you ask him that.
can we have some additional substance for chemical testing?
The substance is in very limited supply.
Okay.
Maybe this wasn't synthesized, but is an organic compound that was collected.
Between you and me, I would suspect that that's correct.
Uh-huh.
I don't
So
think
we should
Centipede
not
does.
prick ourselves with these darts accidentally.
If you do, make sure to report the results on yourself.
Where do you want us to report this? Like, text back a number?
Yeah, he gives you a burner number.
I'll step forward and take the case with the drugs in it.
Uh, how did he eliminate his cell? And we know exactly where they were when this happened?
Assault rifle.
Uh-huh.
They were at the port of New York.
Right. Picked off at the docks where presumably the drug traffic was being pursued.
Yeah.
So,
Gentlemen,
yes, go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. I was just going to suggest we need to find a central location for our temporary headquarters. I'm not sure that questioning Agent Centipede about this. I don't think he's been told anything.
No, I'm perfectly comfortable bunking in my vehicle wherever is convenient. I suppose we should check out 26th Street, but when
Yeah,
his
this doesn't seem like that big of a job. How about we go to his house? If he's not there, that's our base.
I do think that we should discuss our feelings on this and what are possible hypotheses for what may have occurred and what may be occurred. It's likely that he was compromised, but being in Delta Green, there are a number of things he could have compromised, and we're talking about a drug or some sort of hypergeometry effect. Is it brain shrinkage, brain erasure, brain recombining? I mean, people who start to go senile often have brain shrinkage.
He will hand you the EKG reports.
I'll look them over. I wish there was a CT scan or.
Did he use the word infected?
No one ever used that word in his cell, but these are similar, again, to the actions of a classified entity.
And this EKG, this is from before he shot, obviously before he
Yes.
shot his cellmates,
Correct.
but you believe he was compromised before this EKG was run.
It appears to have taken place over time.
How long
And
was it since he shot his teammates?
Maybe like 3 weeks.
Okay.
So he might not even be here. We'll see.
We have reason to believe that he is still here. At least we haven't seen any plane records of him leaving, or
his
any
brain-
license plate
If his
readings.
brain has been shrunk and he is not thinking straight, then he might not be able to make that kind of cognitive decision to hide himself properly. This
It's
might
possible.
be an easy.
You
Yes.
seem to have some information about this entity. Maybe you could share some.
Let's just say, and he appears to think for a few seconds when you ask him that, and he just goes, let's just say, hard and buzzy, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
No, I don't. I
Like what?
don't like. Let's just say, okay. I like facts. I deal with facts.
you're referring to the incidents that took place years ago concerning brains being removed.
Exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
He looks very relieved when you suggest that.
Uh,
Did other
um,
members of his cell also have EKGs done?
No, it was only him. Apparently, he was presenting.
Oh.
And you see, these EKGs appear to have been done at a hospital.
ah, I see. Uh, well, I do think that we should all discuss this together for a bit, and then yeah, let's go over and see if his apartment is still occupied. Although I don't
Uh,
think we should all go. That's
Another thing is, we
dangerous.
want him alive if possible. Again, if after you inject him with the drug, he appears to be in a worse condition, you have permission to eliminate. But unless that's the case, we want him alive.
Uh, those darts, do you have a delivery system for those?
Yeah, there's like,
Unfortunately, no.
Okay,
oh, we're gonna have
are
to
they?
throw him like.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, he's. I got some decent firearms. Do they look like we could get like a dart gun that would shoot
Yeah,
these?
yeah.
Okay,
And
perfect.
he gives you the address of a green box that
Huh.
looks
Nice.
like it's on the lower east side.
Okay, just one more question. If you can't tell us anything else, at least tell us the mode of transmission that this entity uses.
Voice. You should not
Sound?
talk to him. You should not talk to him under any circumstances.
Ay, ay, ay.
Subharmonics that influence thought patterns.
Sure, subharmonics. Yeah, sure.
This is some. It's
Anyway,
going to be interesting. We might consider getting earplugs just to and coming up with a system of hand gestures so that we can direct each other.
So he's armed and dangerous, arguably unhinged, holed up in his own apartment, and we're supposed to stick him with a dart before he talks to anybody in the most densely populated area of the country
3 weeks behind.
3 weeks later. Yeah, that is the
exactly,
outcome.
exactly. You guys understand the assignment. I'm very busy. I got a plane to catch. He looks at his wrist,
Hmm.
but there's no watch on there. And then he pulls out his phone and he's like, "Yeah, I'm very busy. I have to leave. Report back to me daily." And he rushes out,
Yes, sir.
leaving his Panda Express with the pigeon shit in it.
Yeah, there.
We'll leave it for them. They'll eat it. Why don't we just make the top of this building our occasional discussion place?
Easy to access, unlikely to meet anybody of interest.
And the weather is not too bad this time of year. So he's talking about an incursion of once again the what the hell was their name? Uh Migoi, I think in Chinese. Um, the abominable snowmen.
A Yeti.
Um, well, the Yeti are part of them, but I think that they're actually more like large crustaceans, aliens from another world, but with designs on something here. They steal brains.
Did they
Um,
replace them with something?
I
Could this
don't
be
think
an
so.
entity inside
Yeah,
agent pilots?
a changeling, yes, most definitely. Unless they found some way to control
I
this
mean, the
black
task seems
stuff.
pretty straightforward though. Just shoot the guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just one person. I'm ready to go for it.
I'm guessing that this black stuff might be some sort of Miko poison that would kill
Yeah.
the entity.
Well, we jab him, we tie him up, we give him heads up. We
Yeah,
call
sounds
BG, tell him we're
easy.
done.
Sounds easy. Do any of you have a gun training? And well, yeah, you should.
Sure.
I
I'm a
carry a
doctor.
handgun.
I'll come in after you've
Do
shot
we?
him.
I hate to suggest this, but do we really need him alive?
Well, they want him alive, so they
The
probably
request
want
of
to.
it.
They
But they
probably
also
want to.
said that an acceptable outcome was him being dead.
Oh,
So maybe
no.
we just cut out the middleman and make it easy on ourselves.
They would probably like to vivisect him to see
Yeah,
what's
well,
going on inside.
be ready to kill him. Sure, I'm gonna go in there and try to wrestle the guy.
Yeah,
And
don't.
it's in his best interest if he's dead.
If any of us are in danger of being harmed, yes, kill, shoot to kill.
Do we want to
Although
check out
if
that green box first before we get too far into this? And because I'm with Quilt here, is let's break in, dart him. I mean, heck, dart him a couple times. How bad can it be to get a few doses? It's
well, I hate to sound um irrelevant, but it was a long flight getting here, and I love a good green box, but we are in Manhattan, and he was eating that Chinese food, and it smelled better than I'm sure that it tasted. But we could get something to eat on the way to the green box, and
Chinatown is between here and the Lower East Side.
oh, that sounds wonderful. Duck sounds delicious.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, I'm going to be Google Street viewing the Agent Silence's block and get a sense of what his building's like, what the buildings around it are like. I guess with the economic downturn, there might be vacancies in this building, and security is definitely slacker than it used to be.
Yeah, it looks to be like a walk up, 3-story walk up.
Yeah. All right.
uh,
So,
do
if
they
in
have
terms
a?
of
Oh, sorry, Quincy. So you're looking at your phone. Do you have a like a realtor view of the inside of that? Like the
mhm.
like a Zillow thing?
Yeah, we can get a
Yeah.
floor plan out of this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We know what to expect.
Looks
Obviously,
like the
he's
rent is about 3,000 a month, so normal.
Small
cheap.
place.
Actually, pretty good. It's probably a shithole.
Well,
On
again, since the downturn.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, did any of you drive to get here?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Do you mind? I took a cab.
Yeah, it's an SUV. We can all fit. It'll
Oh,
be
wonderful.
a little, yeah. Um, Although, yeah, and at this time of night, we're not, yeah, traffic should be fine. Uh, Take the West Side Highway down to Canal Street, get some Chinese food.
Yeah,
Um,
you guys could also take the subway, although your cars will get ticketed.
yeah, we can't leave anything anywhere for very long. Uh, and it's easier to maintain weapons in the lockbox in the car than it is to carry them on the train.
That's also true.
Uh, do we, uh, if there's a fire escape, it's probably on the backside and not visible on Google Street View, but it might be visible on Google Aerial. It might make sense for two people to go up the front and two people to go up the fire escape and box him in. He can't shoot four people at once.
Yeah, sure, there's a fire escape. This building's up to code.
You think maybe we could go by a sports what do we call it, a place where we can
Yeah.
get some small dart guns, maybe three. We got three of these syringes. We can get three dart guns.
We should get some noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, or definitely some earplugs.
Gonna play my jock jams really loud. Like I don't know how good noise canceling is, so yeah, I was just gonna do it the old-fashioned way.
We can
Yeah,
use
we're
the
gonna be
this.
deaf. Can't really coordinate.
We can use the standard hand signals to,
Can't we just get a radio?
I suppose we could do that. But if he speaks and the voice goes into our thing, it
Hmm.
will go into all of our. That's dangerous.
Yeah,
Uh,
we can always just
I
time it
mean,
out, do the
you
at 9 o'clock sharp we break the window, hit the door, whatever. That's
you
pretty
remember your
standard.
hand signals, don't you? Like for danger and for help me, I'm in distress.
All right, perfect. So you guys come across a nice Chinese food restaurant. It's one of the ones where they have the bird cages all around and people are playing with their birds. But you're let in even though you don't have birds. Although you could have taken one of the pigeons.
Pigeons are filthy animals.
This is true.
Flying rats.
Could pass it off as a racing pigeon. But you guys get some food. Do you want to discuss anything while you're in the restaurant or just,
I think just his purchases.
yeah. All right,
And
so
Canal Street's a perfect place to get things like dart guns and
Yeah.
headphones. And
Well, so planning going ahead of it, we had his file. Did I have any of his contacts? I could try to impersonate someone, go to the front door, maybe trick him up.
no, it did not have any of his contacts.
Yeah. Hmm.
You might be. I mean, you're the tacticians. A head-on assault might be quite
Yeah,
easy.
well, the door and the window at the same time. Yeah, I think I want to be at the door just because if I could, I mean, I'm gonna have earbuds in, but I could just fake a conversation if he answers.
We'll just shoot him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Quince, I think I saw you across the window when we got up here initially. That it's not the worst idea to do at least a brief stakeout, see if he's actually there or not. It doesn't behoove
Standard
us to break
procedure.
down the door. I mean, dude, I can go out there and start looking if you want me to do that while you're at the green box. I don't know how long you anticipate that taking. See, slurps up some noodles.
that's, I guess, only a question of whether there's something in the green box that you would want to bring out that we wouldn't know for you.
I mean, if it shoots, that's pretty much it. I mean, binoculars, tactical stuff. This seems pretty straightforward. So dart guns
You
all
brought all
around.
your own gear, right? Yeah.
Yeah, hats
Oh,
the duffel bag.
Have any of you used a dart gun before? How far does that go? Like 20 feet? We got to get close.
yeah, probably no more than 20 feet.
Yeah, and we can't waste them. I think we need to subdue the guy first and then make sure we get a solid shot.
That would be ideal.
I take a look at the darts themselves. Are they like the kind of when they hit, they just automatically inject their contents?
Yeah, they have a weighted plunger, so when they hit, it pushes it in.
It just pushes it in.
Yeah.
So it is possible that if it hits the wall, the weighted plunger might not pump any of it out, so we can recover the dart. But if it's
We'd have to get
drywall, it'll
lucky.
probably just go right through and then dump all of the stuff in.
Yeah. So are you guys going to the green box or not?
Well, if Agent Quixote, did you want to stake the place out and see if he's there?
Yeah, yeah. You guys go ahead. You know the kind of stuff I can do. I'll
We know,
take
no
my.
garden gnomes for
I don't know
sure.
about that. I mean, sure, if you feel the need for companionship, sure, but yeah, I'll just take a binocular and head out there and do some peeping tom.
And the rest of you are going to the green box?
Yeah, and please, Agent Quixote, don't do anything until we get there.
Uh, it said he's a ranger. I'm not that stupid. I'm gonna have some backup before I go against yeah. Mm-mm.
Unless I'm cooking up some crazy disguise, I think I might actually go with Coyote. Just get ahead of it.
Yeah, Agent Quixote, you can roll. Do you have any like military knowledge or like
Uh I've got land military science. I don't know if
sure,
that's
roll
applicable.
roll land.
An 84 doesn't look good to me. Nope.
All right, okay, so you have not heard of Josiah Vermillion.
Yep. It's a cool name. That's too cool. That worries me.
Okay, so Agent Quilt and Quixote are going to Josiah's apartment.
Yeah, buddy system.
Um, yeah, and Agent Quicksilver and Quail and Quince are going to the green box. Okay, perfect. Let's start with the green box first. Um, you pull up outside of the green box, which appears to be not too far away from the Lower East Side apartment of 430. And outside, it appears to be a like sort of store with residential above.
Mhm.
It appears to be a fish wholesaler.
Mm.
A
Atmosphere.
fish, a fishmonger.
First
Yeah,
pigeon ship, and now
a lot of
warming
animals.
fish.
And everybody who's at the green box, do an alertness roll.
I got an 11 under 70. What does it mean if you get
Oof,
doubles?
that's a crit. That's a crit.
That's a crit success? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And I got an 88 over 40, so I also critted, but in the other
fail.
direction.
And I got a 54, which is a failure.
All right, perfect. So Quicksilver and Quince. Quince, maybe you like are overcome by the odor of semi,
Ugh,
yeah, of
warming
perishable
fish.
fish. Yeah,
Mm.
This is
the
not
norovirus
fresh.
outbreak. Um, but Agent Quail, you very clearly see a silver Chevrolet van pulling out from behind this place, and it has no license plates, and it's the kind of thing that sort of pings your radar.
Hey, anyone else see that van?
It pulls out in front and
Van,
just double parks.
the one right
Uh,
there. Yeah,
yeah, it's
got it.
does that van seem strange to you?
Oh, no license plate.
Exactly.
Are we about to get shot at?
Maybe Agent Silence has just cleaned out this green box.
Well, we're
So
going to find out. You think that might be him, huh? Can we
that's my
see
fear.
anyone inside?
The windows are heavily tinted. Maybe if
We
you
don't,
went around the front, the windshield might not be tinted.
we don't want to be super obvious though that we're looking for a Delta Green agent near a green box.
What else is in this area? I mean, we're in a
Uh,
residential area.
Lower East Side, it's residential, but there's also like stores and stuff. I think there's a bridge there, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
The Williamsburg Bridge is
Yes.
nearby. Yeah.
If I recall something that we passed, let's say a store, I might consider walking up to the window and knocking and asking the guy if he knows where Johnson's Sporting Goods store is. We seem to be lost. Um,
You
Tom,
kind of
you
cut
had a
out there.
glitch there.
I saw, yeah. So my intention is to go up to the window of the car and knock and ask him. I tell him that we seem to have gotten lost. We were looking for Johnson's Sporting Goods store, which I know is
Yeah.
just up the street.
Okay, so
Uh,
you go up and knock. and the window rolls down, and inside you
Hi.
see two very, very one guy looks to be very muscular, tall. He has sort of a beard and sunglasses on. He's wearing what appears to be like an outfit for this like fish store, or like something that a fish
Okay.
store worker would wear. The other person is wearing a dress shirt and dress pants with no tie, and looks to be a little bit thinner.
Do either
And
one of
he,
them look like Vermilion?
no, no
Okay.
resemblance.
Sorry to bug you. We were looking for Johnson's Sporting Good, and we seem to have gotten lost. Do you know where that is? Is it somewhere around here?
Do an alertness.
Yeah, I guess I'm alert.
Yeah, you see one of the guys like is tucking the end. You just can just see the hammer and spur of a
Uh-huh.
pistol back under the
Yeah.
console. It's the big guy who appears to be the driver.
So I've
And
got big
he,
smiles and
yeah, the guy in the dress shirt just goes, "Oh no, no, Johnson's Sporting Goods. I'm sorry, I'm not from around here, sir."
oh, you're not. Okay, well, sorry to bug you then.
Yeah, of
He doesn't
course.
know where it is. I yell back at the others as I walk away, turning my back on the gun and hoping that I look completely innocent.
Do a persuade roll or human.
Humans, I got a 29. Where is my human? 35, so it just barely passed.
Perfect. Yeah, so he looks like not that concerned, and they roll up the window. And about 30 seconds later, two guys come down from the walk up with a big cooler that they're carrying between the two of them, and they quickly hustle into the back of the van and screech away.
Neither of them was Vermilion.
No, not none of
Okay.
them were Vermilion.
How big of a cooler?
It looks about coffin size.
They
Yeah,
are
big enough that two
fishmongers,
big guys have to
Yeah,
carry it. Yeah.
it's pretty
Okay.
large.
or it's
That's
filled with tuna,
Exactly.
really large tuna.
yeah. Most company vans have license plates and signage on them. Uh, Either they're catering a salmon festival or they're dealing in some other kind of goods. And now they know at least what you look like. I'm not thrilled about that. Do we know a precise on the green box? Is it this ice machine? Where the hell what are we supposed to open up?
Yeah, you have an apartment number above the store.
Or where the guys just came out with a giant cooler?
They were coming down the stairs from the apartments.
Okay. Well, we got to pretend at least to walk away.
Well, I assume that after if they're hustling the thing in the back of the van, they're not lingering after that.
They're long gone.
All right.
Uh,
Well, that doesn't seem good. There may be
no.
criminal activity going on up here and not a great spot for a green box.
Well, we might as well check it out while we're here. I'm armed in case they have a fifth accomplice who's hanging out there, but they probably just cleaned it out.
All right. I'm going to have to play it safe. I'll go in, but I'm going to have to be careful coming out so that they're not back and they don't see me.
All right, so are you guys all going in, or is someone staking out, or
I I'm curious to go in.
Yeah,
all
I'll
right,
stay on the street until you guys get in there, and if it looks good, then you could buzz me and I'll come up.
All right.
perfect. All right, so Agent Quicksilver and Agent Quail, you walk through this sort of smelly looking fish market and notice that there appears to be like one guy just on the counter on his phone. Um, and you walk through the aisles and into the back walk-up area to go up to the apartments.
Yeah. Walk
And
by.
as you go in, you notice that the wiring is like fucked and the bulbs are like flashing and dim. You walk up the stairs up to the apartment and do a notice roll. Alertness.
Alertness.
Yeah.
That is a pass. Regular.
Pass.
Yeah, so you both notice that there appears to be in front of the door to the green box some trash piled up, and it appears to have been recently moved.
Hmm.
Probably those guys we saw.
I hope they don't have access to the green box, for crying out loud.
Well, let's find out.
Compromised green box is a terrible thing.
Yeah, and he probably wrote down a code to the door. There's a little code lock.
Okay, we'll try it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just
Zero,
Delta
zero,
green spelled out with letters and numbers. Okay, so the door opens, and it opens into a sort of like regular size studio apartment that is filled to the brim with weaponry and all this other crap. And could you roll a d4 for me?
4.
4. Oh my God, lucky you. All right, roll 4 d100s,
I got
and
a
I will
1.
tell you what you guys got.
4 D100s.
Yes.
87.
All right. Wait.
40.
Let me write this down. So 87,
49.
49,
95.
95,
And 53.
53. All right. So you can see right off the bat that someone has recently been tortured in this room, or maybe not recently, but like a long time ago, been tortured in this room. There's a chair that has brown crusted blood and sort of belts attached to it. It appears like someone was once tortured in this room.
Before we go on, is there anything when we first open the door to indicate that somebody has recently, like the trash outside, come in and out?
Yeah, there's disruption of the dust, footprints outside.
Multiple,
How fresh is the
or
blood?
just-
Multiple. The blood is old.
So they've been in here. Somebody's been in here. Multiple people have been in here.
Mhm.
I wonder if, Jesus, could there be another agent group working on this problem?
You can roll intelligence for that. Oh, you got a good one.
Well, I don't know how I could possibly know the answer, but I got a 44 on my intelligence, which
Yeah.
is an extreme.
They were kind of giving off agent vibes of some sort, like
So
maybe
maybe they
federal
were
agents,
just another
or could be another
federal
cell.
agents. Yeah, would have to be another cell if it's a green box and they're getting into it.
Well,
Could
they had the
be.
code.
It might be on another mission.
Is it otherwise looted, or is it? Is there still equipment and stuff?
Looking around, you can definitely see some spots where stuff appears to have been removed.
It might be another group, another agent group. New York is a big city. There could be multiple campaigns going on here.
I hope they are not on the same mission.
Well, I don't
Would
think
make
they'd
things
be on the same
complicated.
mission, but
And also in here, immediately of interest, you see, besides the torture chair, you see there's, small arms of various kinds, a pair of spiked brass knuckles. There is a device that just says Joy Buzzer on it that appears to be a metallic glove that's rigged up to a car battery. So if you touch someone with it, they will be electrocuted.
yeah.
And finally, there's something that looks a little bit like a radio, but you can sort of click it open and unfold it, and it's a submachine gun. So it's like a submachine gun disguised as a radio.
Guys. Does anybody know Coyotes and Quilt's preferences as to weapons?
No. I'm going to imagine they probably want like an assault rifle or something.
There's no assault rifle.
I'm going to look around a bit, and I'm not really going to pick things up and touch them, but...
Is there a taser gun?
Sure. Oh, and there's also a dart gun.
Okay. Well, the dart gun's coming with us. Taser gun would be useful for me.
Any notes? Any warnings?
No, there's no notes or warnings. There's a note that describes how to use the joy buzzer.
Well, I don't see anything.
Is there anything else we could use to capture him, like a net or I don't know, and some kind of entanglement device of some sort?
No.
Well, I'm hoping that the drug will knock him out. So we're supposed to bring him in alive, and if we can't, we're not supposed to hear what he says.
We don't know anything about this drug. He might just
fishy.
He could just as well turn into Godzilla.
Well, I don't know why they would want him to turn into Godzilla, but they said that if he doesn't react to it, then we're supposed to observe him. It starts to feel a little like we're the agents involved in some sort of experiment that Delta Green is running.
That's what I think too. If we were going to kill him, we should just kill him.
But that's our job, I suppose. He is a rogue agent. That makes him extremely dangerous because he knows things. Well, we know the torture chair is here, so we can just bring people back here and have fun with them that way.
We should get a camcorder too.
Should take a picture of the torture chair because I know that Quixote and Kill will get a kick out of that.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll take a picture.
You can see like the dried remnants of urine and fecal matter in the seat.
Oh yeah. Well, I was going to suggest you set in it, but no.
Actually, it's a good idea. We'll take several pictures, and just in case there's some weapons there that they want that we didn't grab.
I am going to go over and try to lift fingerprints from our previous people that were just in here.
Okay. Do forensics. Or other equivalent.
I got an 08 out of 60.
You guys are rolling well tonight.
Well, it's just regular. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get multiple sets of fingerprints off the doorknob and off of an area next to where they clearly were like heaving something up into the cooler. You assume it was them.
Okay. Now I'm personally assuming that if they are Delta Green agents, we're not going to be able to identify the fingerprints. But if they're just fishmongers, then we should be able to identify their fingerprints.
Yeah. Federal agents might have a fingerprint database. Could run through.
Well, I'll run it through Delta Green's database. They would know all of their agents.
Okay. Agent Quince, you're outside. Are you just going to stand outside the front, or are you going to go around back?
I'm basically here so if our armed friends return, I can give them the heads up. So I'm pacing on the sidewalk and having a bullshit telephone conversation. Um, it's something I do instead of therapy. So, I'm keeping an eye out and trying to look like I'm not staking a place out.
I love that. Yeah. Um, and after a few minutes, you see the van sort of circle the block again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna buzz Quicksilver immediately. Um, on our our Slack channel or whatever the hell we have. Um, your friends in the van are back and they could ID you, so
We think
maybe,
they might be agents.
I mean, it seemed like a coincidence, right? I've got an anxiety that after he took out his own cell, he's been using his special voice, maybe with some of the people in the drug cartel he was investigating. And that's why the guy looked like, that's why there was an armed thug and a businessman and an unmarked van. So I don't
Right.
think we want to mess with them. If there's a rear exit, I would suggest that.
All right. Copy. Wait.
There's a rear
Let's
exit.
let's get the hell out of here. They're coming back. We didn't really compromise anything, so I don't think they'll be able to tell that we were here. And we will slip out back door.
So are you guys taking anything?
Did we really see anything we needed?
Well,
dart
there
gun.
was the dart gun. I said we were
The
taking
dart
that.
gun. We got the dart gun. Okay.
Okay.
And there was a taser gun, pistol, whatever. I would like to take that.
We'll sort of blow the dust around that area so that there's not a
All right.
shape.
Okay. So you're gonna try to cover it up. Okay.
Yeah. Unless they've memorized everything in here, which I don't think they have.
Okay. Roll forensics for that.
All right. Good old forensics.
Or criminology. would
19.
work. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, you do a pretty good job collecting the dust back over it so it doesn't look like anything's been disturbed.
Yeah. And then we quickly get out.
And yeah, you guys get out. And if Quince wants the spike knuckles, you guys can also have the spike knuckles with you.
I enjoy a souvenir.
All right, perfect. And you guys leave out the back just as the van pulls back up in the front, and you guys get out of there. Let's move back to Agent Quixote and Agent Quilt. So you guys pull up at 2:30, at 4:30, and it looks like a three-story walk-up, sort of. I don't know if you call it a brownstony thing, but like it looks like kind of like a house-ish, but three-story walk-up apartment. And there's a front thing that requires a buzzer, it looks like, and then there's the fire escape around the back, and then there's two alleys parallel. It looks like you could jump across from the neighboring buildings if you wish to do that.
How does it look for getting I guess, Quilt, what do you think in terms of figuring out which one is number 5? Did we got some interior views. Do we have an idea of where in the building that is?
No.
Okay.
Are there numbers on the buzzer? Does
Yeah.
each one have its own? Okay. How many total in the building?
10.
Okay. So probably middle.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's what it
yeah,
sounds like.
the buzzer's inconvenient. We can't just go knock on the door. And there's no way to communicate over a buzzer without hearing him.
Yeah. Great. I'd like to get a view in those windows, I guess. kind of thinking Quince had the right ideas. Maybe get on a roof and start looking in windows, figure out if we can see where this fella is.
Yeah. Dang. Um, yeah, a shithole like this probably doesn't have like a janitorial team or anything. I'm really trying to think of any way to get in there.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, let's get posted up. I'll keep thinking.
yeah, maybe like a delivery or something, you know?
Yeah, it's just that buzzer. I'm
Yeah,
really trying to do it in a way where we don't have to hear him.
yeah, good point, good point. Well, we can always buzz somebody else and make them let us in.
Hmm. All right.
But yeah, if there's fire escapes around here, let's just get on another roof and start, hunker down, start looking in some windows.
Yeah, I'll wait for the others.
Okay,
Yeah, before
perfect.
we move in, certainly, yeah.
So yeah, you guys are out front, and you're gonna just look through windows.
I think it'd be nice if we could get some height just to see some of the hires, but yeah, if any way we can see in would be great.
All right, how are you gonna get height?
If there's another building kind of off to the back, if they all have fire escapes, we should be able to just scurry up one of those and get some distance.
Okay. So yeah, the fire escape looks to be about like 10 feet up on both buildings, and it has a ladder that you pull down.
Yeah. Uh, Quilt, I'm pretty athletic. If you want the boost, I'll try and get you up there.
Yeah, these things are pretty noisy. Someone might try to kick us out, but let's go for it.
All right, yeah, he'll do the hand boost and try and get you up there.
All right, Quixote, you can roll athletics.
Gonna yeet an agent.
Mhm. First death.
If you fumble,
Unbelievable.
Quilt will die.
Clang breaks his neck on the fire escape. Well, it's
1d10 damage.
it's one away from a critical failure. So it's just a normal failure, a 78 over 70.
All right, yeah. So you try to boost Quilt up, but you just can't get high enough to grab the thing.
Damn. All right, get your gun. We're going it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What about, is there like a dumpster we could push to,
Sure.
yeah, let's
There you go.
let's let's just build some blocks.
Might make some noise.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you push a dumpster over and you're able to get up there. And looking into the windows, you can see it looks like many of the apartments are unoccupied. Um, you can see some with lights on, some where there's lights on and it appears the curtains are open, some where lights on
Yep.
and it's closed. You don't see anything that would indicate uh, Josiah Vermillion's apartment.
Okay. No, nobody like newspaper papered over everything. It's all
No,
just
no.
pretty standard. Damn.
Well, keeping in mind it's number 5 out of 10, how best can I rationalize somewhere in the middle with the lights being on or off if it seems like a lot of people in the center of the building are currently residing there?
Okay, so yeah, you can count. There's appears to be 8 windows, and you count like 5 up, and the lights are on. But there's 10 apartments, so that doesn't really seem to add
Mm,
up.
mm.
How many stories is this again?
3 stories.
3 story. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We're not seeing them. Maybe we just keep an eye out and wait for the others. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think we might need to just break down doors when it comes to it, and it might be for nothing. They might not even be here.
Yeah. Yeah. We what?
Sorry.
Scanning at the front under any apartment but 5. Get in, go to 5, and kick the door down, I guess. Then whoever's on the fire escape goes towards whichever room suddenly got a door kicked in.
I forgot to mention there also appears to be an underground parking structure beneath this thing.
Hmm, that's
Oh my god.
interesting.
I don't know if that's normal for New York. Okay, then there seems to be assigned parking spaces out front. There's like parking
Oh, okay.
accommodations.
Are they like the numbered kind where it's like this is for
Yeah.
apartment? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tempted. Is there one in the five spot?
No, it's
Okay.
missing.
Okay. Well, that may mean he's just not here at the moment. That's always a possibility.
Do either of you have any sort of like forensics or criminology or something like that?
A little bit of both.
You go for it. Mine's terrible.
Well, criminology is actually 50. Let's see. I rolled a 92. Nope.
Yeah, so you get a real good look around. There appear to be like sort of leaves in the gutter. There's little cockroaches crawling in and out of the gutter. There's bugs around. There's piles of trash outside with they sort of squeak if you poke them with your foot. But yeah, you're not getting anything from outside. And the rest of you guys can pull up now if you guys are just going to go to the apartment.
Yeah, park at the end of the
Yeah.
block, obviously. Um,
You can go in spot number 5 if you want. Easy getaway.
Yeah.
yeah, I think we might be announcing ourselves over much if we take his parking spot. Uh,
Well, the door has a buzzer. We don't want to talk to him. We're a little stumped here. What are you guys thinking?
well, I got these cool spiked brass knuckles, which, probably
Nice.
won't
Those
come
are
in
cool.
handy under these circumstances. We were preceded to the green box by two unknowns, well, four unknowns, who were so keep an eye out for a silver van with tinted windows and no plates. Uh, I don't know whether that means that there's just another opera happening across town, but like two. So, I'm sorry, Quicksilver described a kind of businessman, a kind of day laborer type who was clearly armed, and the two people with the cooler,
I wouldn't say day laborer type.
bodyguard type, but
Yeah,
dressed as a fishmonger.
yeah,
And the two people with the cooler, were they also just wearing overalls, muscular guys?
yeah. They both looked like maybe. You if you had any like military background,
Huh?
or if you described the tattoos maybe to Agent Quixote,
Oh, we saw
he would
tattoos for
recognize
sure.
them as
Yeah.
military. Yeah.
Huh.
Sounds like other agents. I mean, New York's a busy city. There's only
Yeah.
so many green boxes. It could be nothing, could be something. I haven't done this enough to know. So, yeah, I guess we've come up with nothing basically on our side. Is we haven't seen him. Looks like his car's not here, or else he parked somewhere else. Do we just bash down the door? You guys got a dart thing, right?
So no go on the fire escape. It's broken,
We
or
can definitely still go on the fire escape.
We
Yeah,
don't know which window it is.
right.
right. Uh,
I mean, if we get in, we can always text people and just say, "Hey, it's we went up a
Yeah.
flight of stairs. It's
Coyote had an idea of
this
buzzing a
one."
neighbor so that we don't have to talk to him.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, the neighborhood's run down enough that a lot of people probably don't buzz in strangers, but there's often somebody who ordered food 20 minutes ago.
Pizza delivery, yeah.
So, I mean, we can just buzz everything but five and see if somebody's lazy enough to just press their buzzer, and then we have agents in.
We can order food ourselves.
We just ate.
Send a pizza to somebody.
Well, that's not going to make them any more likely to answer the buzzer. They don't know that they had pizza
Right.
ordered for them. It'll make them happier when the pizza arrives, but yeah, I'm
Um,
just going to go in and buzz every number except five.
Yeah, let's do it.
Um, there is, yeah, there's a number that appears to be for the number one. Are you just going to start with number one?
Yeah, but I'm not even waiting. I'm just going to go buzz, 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 and see if if the door clicks and there's a hum, then I know we're in.
Okay, yeah, you buzz number one, and there's like a little intercom that comes on and says, hello.
We're trying to get number five. He's not answering. Can you buzz us in? I've got a FedEx box.
Yeah, 1 second. God, I was hoping you were interested in renting. And he buzzes you open.
Great.
Wait, was that the property manager? We could just ask if the guy's been here.
Yeah, I mean, I just lied to him, so
we'd like
Okay,
to see
yeah.
in his
Maybe on the
room
way
too.
back
So
out.
right. So we go in. Two of us go in. I mean, I when the door buzzes, I push it open, and then it's just a question of who goes up the stairs, who goes up the fire escape, and if we want to have somebody outside. If he's not in his parking space, we might want to know when he pulls up. But I also don't need anybody to be solo, so maybe three
I
or th
will, since I'm not tactical, I will wait outside near the bottom of the fire escape, uh, and with one of the dart guns, so I can shoot him if he tries to get out and get past you.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll,
stand
Guess
in the
I'll
shadows.
I'll wait outside the front door similarly.
okay. Sounds like I'll go in with you, Quince, if you're going in. Quilt, are you okay with being on the fire escape, or do you want to?
Oh yeah,
So if you're
let's
splitting
do
it
it.
up between three guns, you're gonna have one shot each.
If Quail's got a gun, then I won't have a gun. I'll give it to so that the two guys going upstairs have guns.
Okay.
I'm a decent shot. I'll
I,
take one of those.
I'm just not particularly fast or a good aim.
I feel like I can get him. There's a decent chance.
However, I will have a syringe ready with something if I get the opportunity.
And if he doesn't get it, maybe I'll get it when we're done here.
Hopefully not, because I think I know what Agent Quicksilver is talking about.
Okay.
All
So
right. So you're entering.
yeah, Quixote and I are taking the stairs. I guess Quicksilver's going to help Quilt get to the fire escape.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you guys try to text me a idea of the
Yeah,
building when you have it?
yeah, I'll send it along.
Thank you.
Okay, and so yeah, Quilt with the dumpster, you're able to get onto the fire escape, no problem. Um, Walking into the building, it appears to be, rather average for New York. It just has horribly claustrophobic stairs that can only fit one person at a time going up and then onto a landing that has two or three doors depending on what floor. And you're fairly quickly able to find apartment 5 on the second floor.
Okay. Yeah, I'll text Quilt the location of it on the building so he knows which window to get near.
Does the door have a keyhole viewer in it,
Yeah.
a little
Yep.
fisheye lens. Is there light shining through that?
No.
Yeah, with their help, can I look through that window specifically?
You can. The curtains appear to be drawn, but lights are off.
Yeah. So I'll just be on standby.
Earphones in or
Yep.
going
Going
for
deaf.
nowhere.
Pop in
Turn
a
the
couple
lights
of
on when you want me to
earbuds
get
and
in.
Sure.
crank up Beastie Boys or something. Sabotage starts screaming in my ears.
Uh, yeah. And I'll like pull his earphones off and say, "How are you at lockpicking?"
Uh, I lifts his foot. This is my lockpick. Or pats the duffel bag. I've got one with a few shots in it.
Roll luck.
All of us?
No, just whoever wants to.
Go for it, Quince.
38. So we're okay.
Okay. So nothing happens. Um, and are you just going to kick down the door?
I think. I mean, obviously, check it first. Make sure it's not just unlocked.
Actually, now that I think about it, it would probably be luckier if something does happen. So, as you guys are waiting outside, let's say because you passed the luck roll, you don't have guns drawn. And one of the neighbors comes out and says, "Oh, are you my delivery?"
Um, uh, are not unless not unless we've got the wrong number. We're looking for number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Josiah. Why are you looking for him?
Well, that's the delivery. It's I can't tell you about it, but it's a paper thing, right? We're serving in papers.
Um, like psychiatric papers?
Again, there's confidentiality issues. I'm sure you'll understand, but yeah, there are legal
Oh,
matters pursuant to his behavior of late. Has he been home?
no, no. I think he got evicted or something.
Yeah, I imagine he's been having trouble keeping things together.
Yeah. I mean, the screaming, it was really disturbing. I mean, I complained multiple
Uh-huh.
times.
When was that?
Uh,
I mean, it was maybe about a week ago.
okay.
Gotcha.
So he's been here in the last week and he was screaming. Did he say anything in particular? Were there any names he mentioned?
No, man, it was crazy shit. It was just like series of words that had like the same first letter, so he'd be like silence, stupendous, submarine. It was just like crazy shit. And then he would say other random stuff. I don't know. You know, he
Yeah.
he had prodromal schizophrenia, and I think it developed.
Interesting that his neighbor has a specific diagnosis, but I guess people get to know each other, right?
He does. Maybe he knows what prodromal schizophrenia is. You don't think that this is a scientific diagnosis? This is just his
Yeah.
opinion.
Does Josiah have like a partner he might be staying over at, so we can find him?
Partner. I mean, there was that guy who came over a lot. He stopped coming though.
Uh, that might be. Kind of tall guy, kind of. He's fishing, like
Yeah, he was
kind of tall guy.
like average height. I guess like maybe 6 feet. That's above average.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 6 feet. I don't know. He was Asian guy.
Huh.
A little beard,
Yeah. Mustache, beard.
I don't. Yeah, beard.
rumpled suit kind of guy.
Smelled like shrimp.
Uh, Not really. He usually wore a t-shirt.
Okay. Uh, well, thanks for your assistance. If we it's been about a week, huh, since he's been home?
Yeah. Again, I mean, it was getting to a point where I'm not surprised. Like it
Did,
started slow, and then he's been
but
struggling with it for years, though.
you must not have been home when if he was actually physically evicted, he would have probably kicked up a fuss. He's a tough man, I understand.
Oh, I mean, wasn't he like a ex Navy SEALs or something?
Yeah, I haven't met him.
He was a
But
nice guy, though.
before it,
Yeah, yeah. Really
right.
sad.
So maybe he's living in his car somewhere. Do you know what he drove?
Oh, yeah, he had a Honda Accord.
That's what happened, when people lose their places, that's often where they end up.
Yeah.
True. I wouldn't trust him driving, though. I mean,
Yeah, well, we're hoping to get him the care he needs, but if we can't find him, we can't do that.
so you guys are like with the psychiatric board or whatever or something? I don't know.
We, we, we're actually just, again, there's a legal proceeding taking place involving him, as you might expect. Um, it's odd, though, that the landlord or super or whatever hasn't put a lock on the door or sealed it off or anything if he's been formally evicted.
Oh, I don't know. That guy's like a dick.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah. Um, Quixote's like pulled up his phone and is just texting Quilt out there like neighbor in the hall, but it doesn't seem like he's home. See if you can get in the window. Seems like a good distraction.
Yeah. Any luck with the window being unlocked?
Um, do a luck roll.
Oh, man. A 62.
Okay, so it seems like the ex Army Ranger was more powerful than the current schizophrenic. So he still kept his windows locked. He was still paranoid.
Well, I'm thinking breaking a single pane of glass isn't gonna be that loud. I'm just gonna elbow it out and open it.
Okay. So do I don't know. That's another luck roll. I mean,
Quixote just starts talking
Sure.
really
That's
loudly.
that's why you wear a diamond ring, so that you just kind of.
I rolled
hey,
a
you guys okay, man?
51.
A 51.
Yep.
So yeah, you break the glass and it's very loud, and the guy in the hallway definitely goes like, "What the fuck is that him?"
Oh man, he might be on the run. You should get back to your room.
I'm gonna
Like,
call
these
I'll
things,
call the cops. I'll get the cops.
I wouldn't bother with that. I mean, you know how it is with you liked your neighbor, right? Like he's not a bad guy. You know how those things end.
Do a persuade.
Oh, I'm very good at that.
Human,
You need
human.
somebody with drugs in their pocket to get.
Well, I'm pleased to say that a 71 wouldn't have succeeded at all, no matter what.
Yeah, he just goes, I don't want him to like kill himself or something. I'm calling the cops. Are you gonna try to stop him physically?
Quixote's just looking at Quince like,
Yeah. Actually, sir, we'll call because we can coordinate with them anyway since we have this paperwork to serve. Um, but thanks again for your help. And I'm going to not call the cops.
We're sorry. The number you have reached is.
I think he. I think.
911, what's your emergency?
I don't think he's gonna buy that.
Well, it'll take me a few minutes. I'm gonna crawl inside, turn the lights on,
I
open the
guess you
door.
could do it. I guess you could do a final human roll to see if he buys that.
You'll have 20 minutes before the cops show up anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
From the
yeah.
way that
Not
this
too
neighborhood
concerned.
sounds,
Yeah.
yeah, 57's a regular human success.
Okay, so he buys that. Yeah, he's not going to call.
Yeah, and I'll, uh, bla call my own voicemail and say, we're at 430 East 26th Street. We were attempting to serve papers on Mr. Vermillion, and there's been a disturbance. I don't know how urgent it is, but we heard a crash. And we'll be on the scene to court in whatever. I'm going to just try to get him
Yeah, he just goes
be-
back in his apartment.
right. I'm trying to unlooky-loo him. So, yeah. Okay, Coyote, text Quilt to open the door quietly.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're alone. Let
Yep.
us in, please.
There you go. So how's it going in here?
Yeah, the apartment appears to be kind of a mixture between a mess and spotless. So some parts are really messy, some parts look sterile, like he never touched them. There's the kitchen, for example, is extremely messy. There's dishes piled up that weren't being done. And then once the food ran out in the fridge, there appears to have been ordering of food. But the living room area of this apartment, it's a pretty small studio, is just empty. There's just there's just like nothing in there.
We should probably what do you think? Well, Quicksilver and Quail are waiting in case he's gonna come back, but we gotta
let's
figure
do
out where
it
this
quick.
guy's going, right?
Yeah, let's make sure we're alone here, and then we'll let them know that they can get up here.
You guys are alone.
Okay, good. Yeah. Jeez.
So, does it look, are there suitcases or has he packed them and taken them away?
No, it looks like he's packed up some stuff.
There's empty parts of the closet kind of thing, sock drawers open.
Yeah, he's just left stuff open.
There's probably not a desktop computer here.
Yeah, there's a desktop.
All right. I'm gonna nose through that just in case.
It's password protected.
Yeah. Did you know if either of the guys do any hacking? I'm gonna guess
I'll text him. Yeah, text him.
I would just be like Rosebud and and in terms of paperwork, was he paying his bills? Is there unopened mail? Is there open mail?
Yeah, there's unopened bills, and there's also an eviction notice and several "this is your last" warnings.
Uh-huh. And the last mail that was brought in is dated about a week ago.
Correct.
Maybe there was some mail on the doormat that's from between then and now.
Sure.
If it's like some places have door delivery and some places you have to get it yourself.
Sure. There's some brochure for the next governor or whatever who's running.
Well, if you're looking at that, I'm gonna start in his bedroom area. I'm gonna start checking the bolt holes, like the hidey holes where you put stuff. Check the vents, check the any breaks in the wall, that sort of thing.
Okay, you can do a search roll. What are you doing, Agent Quicksilver and Quail and Quilt as well?
I'm
Waiting.
standing outside waiting for something to happen.
Okay, so you guys are still waiting outside?
Yeah. They haven't texted us and told us that there's nobody here, right?
Yeah, we said
Yeah,
that
we
they've
did,
been
yeah.
gone for like a week and that we
Oh.
could buzz you up if you want.
All right. Well, is there any reason to? Do we need all these people in there? They're
This
gonna
is our
go.
only week, yeah.
You're going to go through the room. Well, might as well go up.
Yeah, I would go up too.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
buzz us
what
in.
what I was thinking was looking for anything more like big picture, since some of the place is chaos and some of it's clean. Is there anything that looks like a shrine, like things posted across walls?
I love that you said big picture. There's a small picture
Okay.
um, that appears to you to look kind of familiar. Yeah, okay, so this is the front of the Polaroid. And it appears to be a younger version of both the person you saw earlier, so Agent Centipede, and Agent Silence.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
And from what you said, he was screaming out names, yeah,
Yeah,
of S agents.
of S agents.
Yeah.
Centipede,
So
if you
I
don't know how to spell.
exactly.
If you don't know how to spell, exactly.
I mean, if you're
Okay.
speaking an alien language, then the sound is the same. Uh, yeah.
Centipede and silence. Yeah.
And does that congratulations photo look like they were just engaged? Or, usually congratulations are signed.
Are you gonna look on the back?
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right. So the back has this.
Congrats on the promotion. See, I guess I have to salute you now. You've saved my ass more times than I can count, and I owe you for that. Kunwu. P.S. I just found out I have a kid on the way.
So he got promoted
Uh,
to C cell.
why would Centipede not tell us that he and Silence had a significant relationship? Was he wearing a wedding ring when we met him in the chicken coop, the pigeon coop?
Um,
Did we
you're an
notice?
agent. You look for these things. At least one
Uh,
of you would have. And yes, he was. He was married. He looked like he was married.
The is the ink pretty old or is that a fresh note?
Old.
yeah, this photograph's got to be at least 20 years, 25.
So
Um,
what
it
are
was
we
AI generated. It's maybe more like
Okay.
12 years old.
Okay.
what are we inferring from this? That they were agent friends, that one of them got promoted, or
We're
that they were
inferring
in a
that our
more
handler didn't tell us important information, which is troubling.
personal pet. Well, are we? Do any of you know about that Kun Wu? What's the sign off on that?
that might have been his real name. We only know their agent names.
No, we know silences.
Well, we know
We know
silences,
silences, but
but the
this was
fellow we
from
met tonight,
Centipede.
Sorry, it was written in silence's perspective though, like to Centipede,
You
right?
can roll an intelligence for that quilt. Or I don't even think you need to. You kind of
I
figured it
rolled
out.
20.
Yeah, yeah. That what you just pointed out seems to be weird.
Yeah, it was addressed to Centipede, so
Yeah.
whoever Kun Wu is who it was coming from.
I'm
is
unfamiliar. Is that
there?
a name? Is that
It
a
sounds like an
Or
Asian
code.
name.
It's a Korean name.
Um,
yeah?
it's a Korean name. We'll have to look up that name, see if we've got anybody in our database that's with that name. Unless there's
Uh,
some other, unless there's some other meaning to it.
I mean, it seems like maybe Centipede is trying to cover for his friend, though, right? Like he's trying us to get him alive when we know that other people might not be so inclined.
yeah, it's possible the team that we saw at the fish shop is here to clean him out if they find him first, but I'm not sure that's a bad idea. If he's got a dangerous brain disease that can be transmitted vocally.
Max, when I first walked up to Centipede, I quoted uh, uh, the Buddha.
Yes.
What was his reaction when I did that?
He might have recognized it, you think? He didn't
Okay.
really have a
Didn't really
strong
have a
reaction.
reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'm overthinking this as we tend to after too much MSG with dinner. It's possible that Centipede is trying to cover for silence. It's also possible that this black stuff is something really bad and he's having revenge on him.
Well, so
I just
how?
don't like not trusting my handler.
Yeah, how would Centipede have clearance to assemble us? I don't really know how that works, but it seems like it would be odd to suspect a rogue handler, wouldn't it?
No, yeah, that would be odd because a handler oftentimes doesn't even know what they're telling us to go do. They're
Yeah.
following orders. And even if it was your best buddy, sometimes you got to put a bullet in the head of your best buddy.
Yeah,
Uh, that's
especially a
our
particularly
job.
dangerous rogue agent who
That
took out his
handler,
entire cell.
that handler knew a lot more than he was telling us.
Well,
Yeah,
handlers
that's
usually
typical.
do. We only
Um,
get to know what we're told, what we need to know.
so I guess the question is, how much do we not trust him? Should we look more into what, like Quail, you said you wanted to look at what this stuff is earlier, right? Like,
Yes, of
do we
course.
want to try and actually figure that out? Because that'll answer some questions maybe about what exactly Centipede does want.
Well,
I
I did not get a straight answer about what I was allowed and not allowed to do.
Well, he straight up told you that you could research it, didn't he? That's what I heard. But
it's
I
it's an
whatever, I do what the handler says.
yeah, it's
I'm
an
just trying to find where the
interesting
guy is.
problem because if they wanted us to analyze the stuff, they would have told us to analyze it. If they didn't want us, they would just say, do what we tell you to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
And
pretty
how
sure he
many
said
times
feel
in
free to research, right? Or experiment. I was considering doing it. I've had some pretty hard drugs and some of my undercover stuff, but you
Well,
know,
we have a
if
limited supply.
yeah, but if you guys
well,
can figure out what it is, I'm curious.
don't forget too that if you figure out what it is and that's compromising information, you're the next problem that they'll take care of. Sometimes you don't want to know. That
Quicksilver is
being
right.
said, a drop of it might be enough to analyze.
I guess that's the, like, if we don't have that knowledge, we just got to find this guy, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, let's
and
keep ripping
now,
this place apart.
yeah.
I am curious about the living room, which is empty, and I'm curious what he was using it for. Why is he keeping it empty? So, like, I'm gonna look and see if there's like maybe a rug or something still there that maybe I could pull up, or is there anything that looks like it's been obviously moved back and forth?
Do a search.
Yeah,
I also have a line of investigation that I'm going to go on, but go ahead.
81. That's a fail.
Okay.
From what
Um,
we've, oh, go ahead.
yeah, you don't find anything. You look pretty thoroughly. You don't find anything of interest here. It looks like
Okay.
he was neglecting this area.
Okay. We have testimony from the neighbor that he was here a week ago. Yes?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to look in his refrigerator and see if there's food that he would be eating a week ago. My assumption is if he is a Migo changeling, he wouldn't be eating human food. And there might be food in there, but it would be 4 weeks old and rotting.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, it looks like he sort of just stopped being able to take care of himself, so he stopped buying food maybe about 2 months ago.
That
Um,
that's highly suspicious. That might mean that he's not him anymore, that he's a changeling.
But he does have a bunch of Chinese takeout containers on the counter
Correct.
piled up.
Correct.
Any residue in there that looks like it's from a week ago?
Well, there's definitely some Migo-looking mold growth in there. I mean, there's a lot, not actually, but there's like a lot of mold in there.
Is
Maybe
it Panda
receipts.
Express or something more local?
It looks like it's maybe a local place.
Okay.
If you have like biology or something, you could
Yes.
roll that because you would know the rate of mold growth. Or I'll just give it to you if it's high enough.
I got a 51 out of 60. So
Yeah, okay. So you would definitely you've grown mold many times.
yeah.
You would think that some of the mold on some of the food is like about a week old.
Okay. So he's not necessarily a changeling.
Yeah.
I assume
was
he didn't
eating.
make his bed before he fled.
No.
Does he? Is it a double, a queen, a king? Is it filthy or is it tidy?
Unwashed.
Mhm.
And it looks like it's a queen.
So he was just having a breakdown. He had some savings, so he was living like he'd probably wait unreasonably long to feed himself and then order some cheap takeout. I'm gonna do a. I'm gonna just do the, check the bathroom out for, you know, something stuffed in a pipe or a loose tile. But I think we just have a fugitive
Yeah,
in a Honda Civic
I'm struggling to
Accord.
wrap my head around the time gap of 3 weeks. Why did they wait so long to get us looped in? We
Maybe
have nothing to go off of with this guy.
maybe they didn't suspect it yet. But the other
When
thing
did
is,
they
why are
find the
they sending us
bodies?
to shoot him up with some sort of chemical, which is also really odd.
And is it a they or a he? Are we working for Delta Green or working for Centipede?
Do we
I
have any other ways to connect to Delta Green directly, bypassing Centipede?
But
No.
is Centipede our exclusive handler?
I think this is the first time we met him.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming.
Yeah,
And we
no,
don't
you've never
usually
had it
get.
before.
So I'm prone to trust him because that's just how this organization works.
But there
Is
is a
it?
gap there where it could
Yeah.
be that he's sending us on his own mission. I
I don't
wonder
know
if
Is
how
we
he
there
would have
go.
any?
gotten our info.
Should we try to? Well, he might have work. He might be the rogue agent.
Yeah, if
Um,
he's C-cell, that's pretty high up the old alphabet. Like,
I wonder if we have a
yeah.
way where we can spy on him, although we don't know where he went.
Uh,
The other psychological approach is we could send him a text to his burner and say, "Is there something you should tell us, Kunwu?"
Hey, that's a good idea.
And and if he's clean, he'll come clean.
Agent
And
Quince, looking in his bathroom, you would see there's some aripiprazole in there, which you would know is an antipsychotic.
he was making an effort. What's the date on the prescription bottle?
It looks to be about 3 months ago.
And he stopped taking it. There's still pills in there
Correct.
rattling around.
Correct.
So
EKG was off. Yeah.
yeah, and he gave up. The drug wasn't working, or
Yeah. Well, so he could be on the run anywhere. His car isn't here. Or he could be on the streets. He could be institutionalized.
Is there any audio equipment around?
Yeah, sure.
Like unusual audio equipment, not just record players, stereo, but
No.
like
yeah, I think Quilt has the right of it. Is he took his car and he went somewhere, which means we need to follow the car. Like at least his license plate is probably there for a bit, unless he ditched it immediately, and we can start looking for his Accord.
None of you were able to break into his computer?
I mean, I could drive it to Geek Squad.
Try Kunwu.
Anyone else like that idea?
Yeah.
Well, that's not a
Oh,
bad idea.
as a password, right?
That's very close to the real password, so I'll just say you try like Kunwu and it doesn't work, and then you try silence and that goes through. It works.
Hell,
We'll check
And
his
yeah.
his email and records over his correspondence.
Or sorry, did I say silence?
Yes,
Mhm.
You try
You mean
Centipede.
Centipede.
You try Centipede.
Mm.
Centipede.
Yeah.
If you guys are fiddling with the computer, you mind if I turn on my music again? Something about a computer. Just yeah. All right. All right.
yeah.
Starts air drumming.
So yeah, Slayer comes on.
Yeah.
And you were Agent Quixote looking through the bedroom, correct?
Yeah. And I managed to roll a 100. So I'm jamming in my
Oh.
I'm reaching into Vince.
Actually, I like that. I like that. Um, roll a dodge.
Uh, I need to change these dice. One moment. 88. Critical failure.
All right, so you're poking around, and you decide to look through all the standard spots. One of them is a vent, and yeah, as you're pulling off the vent, you see a wire sort of on the thing, but it's too late. It's already gone, and you're gonna take. Let's see. What is a shotgun again?
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
I want to say 2d6, a d8 maybe 2d8.
2d8. Okay.
I want to say that. Let me check. I'm nearby.
Well,
Firing
is it a
slug
12 gauge
2d8.
or a
Yep.
20 gauge?
Yeah.
It's a 20 gauge, let's say.
Mine says
Mind-
2d6, but that's the old Call
Yeah,
of Cthulhu stuff.
We'll do 2d6. Are
What
you
am I-
are you wearing body armor?
I don't think we got to that point, so we'll say no.
I'm not
All right,
sure
well-
he's wearing face armor.
You got pretty lucky. You got pretty lucky anyway. So it appears to have been sort of bungled and aimed wrong. So, but you take 4 damage as
Oh,
the side of your face just gets blown, kind of chunk out of it.
We all come running, obviously.
Deal,
What the hell?
You might be blind in one eye.
yeah. Yeah. He's just bleeding out the side, clutching it, swearing up a storm.
Okay. Well, our nosy neighbor is going to be back any time now. I'm glad I was wearing earplugs because
Ah.
that's loud in a confined space. Let's find the cleanest thing in his closet to wrap around your face and bug out because
There are
The
no
neighbor's
clean
going
things
to-
in his closet.
And he's like bleeding, the eyes like wedged shut, and he's just points, check the vent. Check the vent.
All right. So as you guys look in the vent, you can see that there appears to be scratch marks, No Country for Old Men style, where something has been there. And then you kind of get it from around the corner, and there's a small like case full of what appear to be documents.
Yeah, coat hanger that out and let's fly.
Yep. Oh, am I good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, someone said they lost. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so yeah, are you guys leaving?
I think so. With the gunshot, somebody's probably going to call the cops.
Yes. You can hear sirens.
I mean, you can always hear sirens. I've got gauze in the truck, so we can wrap your face up and drive you to Bellevue. They don't ask any questions there.
You
Well,
have
I'm a
like
doctor
4
and a
doctors.
surgeon,
Yeah.
so-
Right? We can go to a pharmacy and get some
mean-
alcohol and some tweezers, and we can pull those pellets out of your face.
Let me put this on your back and cough. Turn your head and cough.
Yeah, you can roll. You can roll like first aid.
My first aid. Ah,
And
33 out of 70. Extreme.
Um. Okay, so yeah, you can heal up 2 points of
It's
health from that.
it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
It'll give you. I don't think your eye might hurt, but you didn't get punctured. You're not blind.
Yeah. And you guys are all experienced, so you're not going to take any sand from seeing him get his face blasted.
No.
You've all
Well,
seen
we
it
didn't see
before.
it happen. We were in the other.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So, as you guys are leaving, you can roll alertness for me. All of you.
28 out of 50.
Yeah, regular pass.
Regular
Regular
fail.
pass here too.
Okay, no extremes. All right. So, as you guys are leaving, you see a very familiar silver van pulling out around the corner.
Just pulling out. So they were here.
Correct.
I bet they were observing us.
I think you're right. I think they are watching us.
And I think that's where we will end since we're at 2 hours.
All right, cool. Our players included Nathan Decker, Kaylin McDowell, Stefan Amshi, David Gasway, and myself with Max Meltzer as the game handler. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Delta Green role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.